Hello, everyone. Yet again, we are back. Susan Gerbic and Rebecca. We are doing another Matt Fraser reading reveal. These are crazy readings. Everyone I pull up, I say, oh, it doesn't get, oh my gosh, no way. And then I pull up the next one, like, oh, no, not it. Rebecca, this one I just assigned to you at random.
Yeah, I like these random spin the fortune wheel. It's fun.
Had you seen this one live? I don't think so. I think you just
No,
missed
I
it.
didn't see this one live. No, I didn't. I didn't. So it was a newer one to me, but still really lots of twists and turns. I feel like I'm on the teacups here with this one.
Just don't get sick. Just don't
Oh
do
my
it. If you're gonna
gosh.
do
Oh my
that, do it off
gosh.
camera. I don't
Yep.
I don't maybe if it was on camera, we'd have more views. I don't there's some people out there with some interesting likes. I,
This is true. This
I
is
mean they have
true.
zip popping videos are pretty popular from what I
Ooh,
understand. I am
yeah.
not watching those, but some people tell me they really find that interesting. And I'm like, oh no.
That's yeah, it's like my strange addiction. So I think Matt Fraser's strange addiction is bronze. So I'm just gonna get mine ready just so I can be in spirit.
Oh, get into it. He is
Yep.
bronze today. Boy, I tell you. And well, he's wearing this dark brown, so it is just so much. And I was looking at some of his older videos the other day, and when he was much younger, and he had a totally different look. Well, it was the same kind of
Really?
idea, but it had like it had a picture of a large picture, like 16 by 20 or 20 by 16, of his family taken for that TV show he did, Meet the Frasers,
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
and it was right behind him. And I get it, but it didn't go with the color theme and everything. So
Right.
I'm kind of not sure. I think this is a better look for him with the,
Hmm.
I don't know how it's going to handle it with when he's got three little ones, because
I don't know either.
he's going to have to lock this space off because they're going to be all over this.
Yes.
And it is part of his house because we've seen cats jump around back
Yeah,
there.
I have seen the cat the one time.
Yeah, two. There was two.
Oh,
They were
really?
very pretty. Yeah, there's two, and they're well, they kind of looked alike, but
Yeah.
yeah, there was two. So what we're going to do today, this is Rebecca's third time, and not the last, and we're trying to get through all
Woo!
these videos. There's a lot, and I have other videos too that once we're done with Matt, well, there's so many to do outside of this gallery readings, and I understand he's going to be doing more gallery readings. He's adding them.
He did. After he
Yeah,
said
in
he was on
January.
paternity leave. I'm so intrigued.
I know. Well, he's got to pay for that Lexus. So
And his iced coffee.
oh, you're cracking me up.
Wet the whistle.
What's our whistle? Cause I don't know. So he's got you're cracking me up. So all right. So what we're gonna do is, as we've done before on these different kinds of readings where I'm having somebody guest host with me, we are gonna see it in untouched. But you guys out there are gonna see it with matte fine. You'll see all the bronzer, and then you'll see his, everything, but you will not see the people really well. They'll be blurred, and the name is not going to be revealed unless he says a name, but I'm not too worried about it. I'm liking these captions on here, so hopefully you guys out there watching this enjoy the captions being at the bottom, how we have them. I went through I transcribed it with a program, and then I went back and made sure it was correct. I think it's pretty darn correct. You guys, if you haven't seen the video of the woman from England that Rebecca and I did, it's on the
Hmm.
playlist, and you're on the right playlist because they all have that hot pink border on the thumbnail. Rebecca and I did a reading 2 days ago, I think,
I
and
think
we
so.
disagreed. And
We did.
it's fascinating why we disagreed, and it's an important part. And people in the comments are already starting to say whose side they're on, mine or yours. And
Yes.
so far, I'm not saying anything. Let's let people look, but
Yeah.
I want to let people.
Join the debate and vote. We need to figure this out.
I really need those Brits out there. You
Yes.
Brits need to be, because they're speaking British English, so that's what's important.
Proper English.
Proper. It's
Yeah.
5 minutes to 12.
Yes.
So the reading we're researching is from the 21st of December, 2025. And Rebecca and I are recording this on the 8th of January, 2026. So it's been a couple weeks. There's just so many of these to go through, and as I say, Matt keeps bringing new ones on, and I'm going to bring in new psychics, and we'll have to look at those too. So you guys are going to have to get your skills together. But as usual, please leave your comments underneath the video. I'm happy to look at those, and I read them all, and yeah, I really look forward to what you guys are going to say. And I don't even remember what's on this one. I've done so many that I'm forgotten. I think it has to do with somebody's leg.
There's some twists and turns, but
Oh,
there's a leg in there.
there's a leg in there. We got to get
Yes.
a leg up on this one.
A leg up on this one. Yes.
All right. I don't think there's anything else I got to tell people. We can just jump right in, right?
Let's dive in.
Okay.
I got my debunkables here. So I got my notes, people. Ready to debunk.
Okay. So if if you can't see me on screen, I can't see you on screen. So everything else has to be explained to people. All right.
Got it.
Let's share this puppy to make sure I share the right thing. Here we go. I'll do that instead of my desktop. Okay, here we go. So keeping in mind, I can't remember. Is somebody else going to show up on the screen first? I can't remember. Matt is usually picks one of three things, and he's cold reading. So
Right.
if the person pops up is in their under 30s, then he usually goes with a mystery person. If it's somebody under somewhere between 30 and 50, then he'll probably go with a grandparent. If it's
Okay.
somebody that looks like they're 60 or above, he usually goes with parent.
Parent.
And if it's a mystery, it's usually somebody who died in tragedy. So whatever. Okay. So I can't remember. I think it's two people on this one, right?
Yeah, there are two ladies on this reading.
Okay. So here we go.
I also at the same time want to go to Christy as well. Is it Christy? We're going to go right over there.
What the heck is that? Do you hear that sound?
Can you hear us now?
Yes, how are you?
Good, how are you?
Good, where are you guys?
Rhode Island. Rhode Island, yeah.
Rhode Island, oh my God, you're right close by. What part of Rhode Island? What part of Rhode Island?
Cumberland.
Oh, come, that's like the farthest away from me as possible. That's like way up in the sticks. Well, listen, I'm glad you're here. I'm glad you guys got Wi-Fi up there in Cumberland.
Yeah, it's actually pretty good.
Okay, so I'm going to stop and let you describe, Rebecca. Who are we looking at? What are we looking at here?
We're looking at two ladies from Cumberland, Rhode Island. They look very engaged. They're leaning into each other. Their shoulders are almost touching. The one lady looks to be maybe a little bit older than the other lady.
Which one?
The lady with the darker short hair that when you're looking at the screen would be on your right-hand side.
Mm-hmm.
And the other lady has maybe shoulder length past hair, but they're both smiling and talking to Matt and, turning their heads into each other. They already look pretty engaged. The older lady was waving. I can't tell what kind of room they're in, Susan. It looks like they're so close to the ceiling.
It does. I think it's just the angle, but it looks like they're in front of a fireplace, but there's no adornments, nothing on the fireplace mat. It looks like they just moved into a place and haven't, like they moved in, put the laptop down and they're ready to go because there's nothing. Yeah, it does. I think it's just the angle is showing up. It's filming up. Do you think they're siblings or they look a lot alike? What do you think?
Gosh, I'm really thinking either that's a much older sister or a mom.
Wow.
Or maybe they're either sisters or that's a mom-daughter situation. It's hard for me to tell the way the angle is.
Yeah. Well, I can't remember what this reading's much about, so I'll have to maybe the woman in pink on the left, the light pink, her sweatshirt says ghost something. Ghost
Oh,
face.
really? I missed that.
You can't see that? GHOST, and then it looks like FA. I don't know. Maybe when she moves, we'll be able to tell what it says. But ghost,
Okay.
I don't know if it's a brand or if it's a group or
Huh.
I don't know. Ghost something.
That's
It's like
interesting.
a pink sweatshirt. So
Right.
I think they're related.
There is a lot of resemblance, I would say.
I think they're
You think sisters?
Yeah, because she's not. I know they'll never see this video, but if they did, boy, wouldn't she be like, "What? You thought I was her mother?"
Right. Well, we've established already, Susan, you're much better at figuring out age than I am here.
Well, I've lived a little longer than you, Rebecca. So they're
Not that
probably,
much, not that much.
so the woman in the light pink on the left is probably the late 30s, and the woman on the right with the shorter hair is probably, I don't know, I'm gonna have to see a little bit more, but she looks like, yeah, I think they're probably in their late 30s, maybe early 40s. We'll see. So if it's
Gotcha.
a person in their 30s, it's usually a grandparent or a mystery. It's usually mystery, somebody tragedy, and I can't remember what ends up happening, but let's see. So do you think these women have somebody in mind they want to reach before they've even gotten their first reading? They've said anything?
You know, we talked about this another time. I really think that people do come with someone in mind that they want to hear from.
Mhm.
And
And
this
then
one is, yeah, I really feel like if you're spending money on a ticket, you're actually coming to hope to hear from a certain person.
Mhm.
That is my instinct here. What do you think?
Well, I think there's a lot that are just hanger-oners who just go just to watch. But they don't
Really?
usually put their hand up. Because
Huh.
we know that people who attend these, a lot of people don't put their hands up. They just are there to watch. And
Wow.
yeah, because we can see, yeah, well, that'll still be revealed in the podcast that's coming out later. But
Right. I didn't want to give away too much.
yeah, on the 13th, you guys, that's when you start, Tuesday the 13th, that's when you start watching for these videos coming out. I'll talk about it on my channel. So I don't know when you're watching this video, you could be watching this in 2028 or something. I don't know. So check the channel out. But I anybody who puts their hand up who says they agree to have a reading,
hmm
I I don't, I honestly don't know. I It's six of one, half a dozen of another. They could be, I hope mom comes through. Or
Right.
I think if you're with a friend or a family member, I think you're looking for whoever, and maybe somebody in the back of your mind you're hoping. But if it's you're by yourself, I have a feeling you're really hoping for, your husband or your child or your parent, because you're alone and it just feels different. I think it's a different mood. These obviously think this is going to be fun and entertaining. But I
It
think
definitely is. It definitely is.
right. So when he does a mystery, I think when he says somebody died in tragedy, a mystery, unless he starts getting gendered, like a young male, it's always a male for some reason. But unless he does that, I think they could steer it any way. And I've seen people say, "Oh, it's a tragedy. Somebody died in mystery. Oh, that's my mom." I've seen that. So I don't know.
Yes.
All right, let's see what happens. Okay, so we got that. So they've got Wi-Fi up there. This is the third time I've heard him talk about Wi-Fi in one of these states.
And it's
Twice
usually
in Maine.
Maine.
Yeah, Maine. Oh,
Maine.
Maine. You got Wi-Fi up there?
Yes.
He's so funny. His bronzer looks pretty good today.
It does. He's kind of on point today.
Yeah, I think somebody's doing his eyebrows too.
First of all, there's a couple different souls that I'm connecting with on the other side. Right away, I kept hearing your grandmother stepping forward. So
Ooh,
know
grandma.
that she's stepping forward on the other side when I'm connecting. But did you also lose your father as well?
No.
He's still here in the physical.
Yes.
Okay, there's this man that's coming through with me that's stepping forward on the other side that immediately told me about diabetes. He keeps talking about this constant struggle with diabetes before his passing.
Okay, I'm going to stop again. Sorry, everybody. So he went with grandparent, which is something that they do if they're younger. Now that I can get a good look at this person, I think they are sisters.
Okay.
I think they're sisters in their 40s, late 30s, early 40s. And I think that he got a no on the father, which is
yeah, but he said, I see a grandmother figure, but then we switch immediately to the father. And I missed why it is that he decided to go that direction. Susan, tell me what you think about that.
You mean going from grandmother to father?
Yeah, I feel like he just switched from
well,
grandmother. I see a grandmother. He says, first of all, I see a few souls coming through here. I see a grandmother. I see a father.
And why does he argue with them when they say no? He said, I'm going to play that over again. We're early enough in this, because he says right there, he says, is this your father? Has he passed on? And she's like, no. And he goes, oh, he's still here in the physical? It's like, why are you arguing with him?
Right,
I
right.
don't get that at all. Yes, I think she knows if her father's dead.
Yeah, exactly.
Why do you think he does that? I've seen him do a bunch of times.
I was specifically going to ask you, Susan, not to like pass the buck here, but I was really curious about this one because it happens more than once.
Oh yeah, it
Why is
happens
it that
often.
he is not just going with the direction that they are looping him, looping for him to go in?
Yeah, and why didn't they react to grandmother and he just went with grandmother? I personally think he's a performer, and I think that it's just kind of a tick, not a
I
tick,
agree.
like where he just, when my boyfriend Mark Edward was a performing magician, and I
Mm,
noticed over the years and going to so many magic acts that you would see the same magician over and over and over, and same like a comedian. And that when one thing comes out of their mouth and the response is a certain kind of response, they respond with the exact same kind of thing. And it's like a memorization. He's got it like a rote memorization. So if somebody says
ah,
disagrees with him and says, "Oh no, my mom's still alive," then he immediately goes to the same phrase, which is, "Oh, he's still over here in the physical." I don't think he's even thinking. I think it just pops out. That's what I think because I've heard it so many times. And
okay,
when he's
okay.
slowing down, you say, "Why is he arguing with people? Don't you think she knows?" Well, let's see
It,
again. We're going to see about
yeah,
the grandmother right away. I don't know why he said two souls are coming through, and then
right.
grandmother, and then I think they agreed, but maybe they didn't look like they
I
were
don't know, but he
excited.
goes. I thought that we were going to get more about the grandmother, and then he starts saying the dad.
And then he goes to diabetes, which is a mystery person. Okay, so we're going to play
Okay.
this
On
again.
the other side, right away, I kept hearing your grandmother stepping forward. So know that she's stepping forward on the other side when I'm connecting. But did you also lose your father as well?
No.
He's still here in the physical.
Yes.
Okay, there's this man that's coming through with me that's
Yeah.
stepping forward on the other side, immediately showing me about diabetes. He was
Grandma
talking
didn't hit,
about
I think.
this constant struggle with diabetes before his passing.
Diabetes.
Look at their expressions. Oh, wow. Look at that face right there.
Wow, that's
I froze it
sweet.
at a perfect time. She's like, I don't know.
He's really, really
So,
stretching and
so
thinking back
grandma,
here.
okay, if they're sisters and they have the same grandparents and the same parents, I think, because they look so much alike.
Right.
Grandma, they did nod, but they didn't
The
seem to
one,
be like,
the one lady nodded, but it wasn't a very emphatic nod. It was more of a, yes, I'm following you. I'm
yeah, like,
listening
oh,
type
okay,
nod.
grandma's here. Okay,
We
whatever.
haven't gotten a whole lot from the lady on the left-hand side in the pink sweatshirt,
Yeah,
the,
she's
the
staring
ghost
intently,
picture.
but she's
Yeah,
not.
she's not
And
responding as much as our other lady here is.
so now we're at a diabetes. This is a mystery person, which is
Right.
what we're saying. We get a lot of that for people who are younger. In other words, you got to try to figure this out. Why Matt doesn't just say the name, I don't know. Probably because
Mm-hmm.
he's not
Mm-hmm.
speaking to the dead, but
Right.
because he could just say, I have your uncle Joseph here, and he died of diabetes, and he wants to tell you that he buried a can of coins in the backyard and wants to make sure that you look them up because they're probably really more valuable right now.
The war bonds, right? The coffee can. Um, well, and you definitely know that his team didn't look him up online, and this isn't a hot reading either because he's
Yeah.
not giving us anybody that way either, right?
Yeah,
So,
these are definitely not hot readings. Matt is really, really, really his bread and butter is cold reading. He only hot reads when he really can, and he doesn't think he's going to get away with it. And it's when he has a media personality, he's doing an interview. Then he'll.
ah, okay.
I've got at least one video of him doing that, but I think there might
Really?
be more. Yeah, it's Matt Fraser makes a reporter cry. And I timed it. I
Wow.
timed it to see how long it took him to get her to bawl. I think it was 38 seconds. It's up on my
Wow.
on my Matt Fraser playlist. So yeah, it's pretty obvious. Okay, so what we got here is two women trying really, 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 really hard to come up with somebody. Did he say
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
male? Is it a male?
Yeah, he's looking for a male with diabetes before passing.
Okay, so all right, so they're trying really hard, and diabetes is very common.
Right.
So I've known lots of males with diabetes, so it's not shouldn't be too hard for her to figure it out. But she's her brain, the squirrels are going, yeah, baby, let's figure this out. There's got to
Mm-hmm.
be somebody somewhere because we cannot because they've already given Matt one no.
Right.
So if they don't come up with somebody, their reading's over, and they know
Yep.
that. I'm sure they know that. All right,
I'm
let's
sure
go.
they've already seen that. Yeah.
I mean, I've had so many family members pass away. At this point, it could be anyone, honestly.
Oh,
Well, no,
interesting.
no. He's talking about almost losing his leg. I kept hearing about my legs back, and about like they wanted to take his leg or almost losing his leg.
Dan, my cousin's husband.
And he departed?
Yes.
Okay, just making sure his soul is here. And what's crazy is that even though
Okay, Rebecca, why didn't he just say Dan, your cousin's husband, is here?
Yeah. Why didn't he just start with Dan, who lost his leg from diabetes, is here? And then he
Oh,
goes back and says, okay, he was here. So does
he
that
said
mean that the soul left
almost
the
lost,
room?
almost lost his leg, is what Matt said.
Oh, good catch. Good catch.
Doesn't he? He says Dan, who almost lost his leg, like they wanted to take his leg or almost losing his leg, and then he has to ask him if he's dead.
Yeah, it started out my legs, my back, my legs, and then he says, no, 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 almost losing the leg.
And she's got, as she says, I've got lots of family members. It could be almost anyone.
Wow.
And then the woman in the light pink, she finally has a role in this, and she says, "Oh, that's Dan, our cousin's husband."
Yes.
Okay, so I'm playing that little bit over.
I mean, I've had so many family members pass away. At this point, it could be anyone, honestly.
well, no, no. He's talking about almost losing his leg. I kept hearing about my legs back, and about like they wanted to take his leg or almost losing his leg.
Dan, my cousin's husband.
Huh.
And he departed?
Yes.
Okay, just making sure his soul is here. And what's crazy is that even though it's your cousin's husband, he looks like he's older when I'm connecting with him. I think because of the illness that he went through.
Yeah, he aged really quick.
Yeah.
Like when I'm looking at him, he does not look young to me. He looks like he's gonna be like, even though he was he looks like he'd be in his 70s, even though he was younger when he had passed away. Because of how much his body had went through. And he keeps showing me like this vision of like his legs turning black and like them wanting to take his leg or get rid of his leg.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah.
And this is
Had-
crazy.
Shortly after that too.
Okay, but wait a minute. Did it go from one leg to another? Because he keeps telling me that it ended up being both legs.
That's a possibility. I'm not 100% though. I'd have to confirm with Randy, but the leg thing definitely is familiar because he did have to. His leg was amputated, diabetes.
That's what it is. All I gotta know is that this man is screaming on the other side. He kept saying to me, I didn't want them to take my leg. I didn't want them.
Okay, so now the story's changed from a leg almost being taken, and it jumped
Right.
from one leg to the other to
Right.
now that they've told him the leg is gone, that now he's saying, I didn't want them to take my leg. Oh, he wanted to die? I mean, what?
Right.
Diabetes is a nasty disease. And Matt, I'm sure, knows a lot about the facts of it, that it does age you. You know, it's a tough illness on people. And so
Right.
by saying, he looks a lot older than he probably is allowing Matt a lot of room as to how old that guy was when he died.
That's interesting because in some widely held religions, it talks about how you will end up in the prime of your life, or you will be made whole, or you won't be of old age. And so I was really surprised actually when he said that this man looked older than he was because of the disease.
You know what? I hadn't even thought of that. That is a very good point. Why is this man presenting himself to look like he's in his 70s when he's not? When he's
right. And yeah. And then the other part is he's like, I can see the silhouette of your dead family members behind you, because remember, he starts all these shows. I just thought of this. He starts all the shows saying, Julia, Susan, I can see the silhouette standing behind you. And silhouette means to me, it's just kind of a gray, shadowy, kind of almost like a cardboard cutout, and you don't get any real visible appearance.
right.
And he keeps saying he's showing me this vision, right? I don't remember him saying before, at least the ones that I've watched, being shown a vision. So this is kind of a newer technique or wording that he's using here.
Mm-hmm. I think I've seen him say all kinds of things, and it doesn't
really.
Yeah, it's not a consistent. He just says whatever's off the top of his head at each point. He'll say, he's smelling things.
And, oh, wow.
Yeah. He says, well, one of the ones I just recently did, I think with, was he, who did I just do one with? They smelled grease. The dad had a shop. He could smell the oil on the dad's hands, and the shop smelled really bad, like gasoline and oils and stuff, because he worked on cars all the time. So Matt will say, I only see visions. And then sometimes I think he'll say, I see symbols.
I
Like I'm
have heard
seeing,
him say I see symbols, but it's rarer. Yes.
yeah. And so then he'll do that. And then sometimes he'll say, oh, but so he can smell them, he can hear them, because he says that they're telling him something in his ear, and he can see them when he can't, even though sometimes he can't see it. Rebecca, I don't think it really makes sense. I think he's just
It
making
doesn't.
it up as he
It
goes.
doesn't.
There's no book. He's not like looking it up and going, well, let's see
Right.
what's in the dead book today. Like I say,
Right.
it's not Beetlejuice where they have some sort of rules or something.
Right. No book of spells here, people.
Yeah. Okay, so now he's going on with a cousin that they did, a cousin's husband, and they told him what his name is,
Dan. Mhm.
Dan. And then
Yes.
what was the cousin's name? Roddy, Rudy,
I
Randy?
think they said
Randy.
we'd have to check with Randy
Randy, that's
about the
it.
specifics. Mhm.
And I
Mhm.
bet they'll forget that. So if Matt comes up with the name Randy later, which I don't think he does, but he could, they would probably
Mhm.
forget that they even mentioned the word Randy.
Mhm. Mhm.
Yeah. Okay, let's see.
Take my leg. And he said he was like very, very upset with his passing. Like, even though that all of you were going to, even though all of his family was going to help him and be there for him and they had everything set up for him, he said to me, I didn't want to live without my leg. And then I saw, like I said, it also starting to affect the other leg. I felt like there was this, he keeps showing me that this crazy infection that like he couldn't get away from. When I'm speaking with him, and he just passed it. So did he just recently pass away?
A couple of years ago.
Please know that he's using this as a way to reach his family, because this was the hardest thing, is that his family was so upset with him because I see them constantly fighting with him, trying to keep him alive, trying to get him to do the right thing, go to see the doctor, go to check his medications. And he keeps saying to me, I should have done this more for myself. So know that his soul is here when I'm connecting with him. And you know what's also interesting? Also connecting with you, I also see a child that passed away as well.
Okay, I'm gonna stop on the child. I want to go back to the diabetes. Diabetes is a horrible disease. My partner just died of it. Well, he didn't die of it, he died of cancer, but he had to manage his diabetes, and it is a constant thing. You got to take care of your
Absolutely.
feet, you got to take care of your eyes, you got to take care of your food, you got to have your medication, you're supposed to get extra. It is like it's a life-changing thing. And so
Mhm.
I could see
Mhm.
it very common for people to say that he should have managed it better. He probably would have lasted longer. But it's
Right.
excruciating. It's so much work. It's like a
It
full-time
is.
job managing your
It
diabetes.
really is. Especially when someone's, it's hard to stabilize the blood sugar. My mom also has diabetes, and when she comes down, we have to make sure we have everything lined up as far as particular food and all of that. And it is, she has to wear one of the meters in her arm and check it almost hourly, right?
Mhm.
It's a lot of work to keep up with all that.
Yeah. Technology changes, like you said, with those meters. My partner had one too. And before he
Mhm.
had that, he had to use a little stick where he
Right, where you have
grab
to
his
poke
finger,
your finger. Right,
and then the
right.
insurance doesn't always get the thing to you on time, or
No,
just off. It was forever. Diabetes was just a pain. But if the guy's got to lose his leg, he's got to lose his leg. It's that or death. I mean, come on.
right, right.
Oh, and here I wanted to ask you one more thing about passing. What's recent? Did he die
Right.
recently? Did he die recently? I mean,
What that covered, that gives him a pretty wide range of recently, right? That could be anywhere from 2 to 3 years to yesterday, or a year and a half ago. We're getting a nice, like, I would say almost a 4 year range total
yeah,
in there at least. So it
yeah.
gives a lot of wiggle room,
I,
right?
I know that I know that I know 1990s were pretty recently to me.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, I'm definitely stuck in the 90s. I'm right there with
I can
you.
remember them super well. So, if somebody says to me the millennium, like 2000, I'm thinking, well, that was just recently, wasn't it? I'm recording this in 2026, but
Oh yeah, I can't accept the numbers either. I'm right there with you.
I think we should get the 4 years back of the pandemic. I think those should be just forgotten. We should at least get those years
Absolutely.
back. But these women are they're going to agree with him. Nope. So they're going to, when he says recently, they're going to give it to him. Oh yeah, in the last couple of years. Why didn't Matt just say, so he died in February of
Right. February
2022?
19th of, 2022. Yes.
Yeah, he went into the hospital on this day. I see his nurse's name was Elizabeth, and no, none of that comes through. It's just they'll say, "Oh, he even knew that Matt knew that his name was Dan and that he had died in 2 years ago." And it's no,
None of
but
it.
I'm wondering if she's recording this because at the very beginning you could see her phone go up, like either she's texting somebody or she was tilting it. You can see her hand on it. You guys can't see it here, but her hand is on the top of the
Really?
phone. So she may be
Oh, that's
recording it.
interesting.
I also see a Christian cross on the woman in pink now that she's moved her hands and stuff. So this is again not a Jewish couple, or it is a Christian couple. So
And still Our Lady on the right-hand side seems to be the one that's speaking more and is more emotive as far as speaking directly with Matt.
Right. It is her account because when he asked if Christy was there, that's the name on the screen, and that is
okay.
She's the one who said yes. So it's her home, I guess, or her computer screen or something, or she signed up for it. So she's the person in charge. Okay, so now we're going to go to a baby. Let me pass it up. Oh my gosh, you guys. It is super hard for Rebecca and I to not roll our eyes when we hear of a dead baby.
It is.
I feel a lot of sympathy for anybody who has children. And I worked with babies for 34 years, and nothing that and animals being harmed or hurt is just like excruciating to me. But this is a trope. He has at least 3 dead babies per gallery reading of nine readings.
And we're not exaggerating about that. I'm a mother. Susan's a mother. The first gallery reading I attended, I cried the entire time because of the people that were so upset, especially the one lady with the 3 dead children. And then I came to realize his pattern is, so we are in no way taken away from the horribleness that is losing a child, but just in pointing this out from an observational standpoint, as if we don't have feelings about this, I'm so sick of him just throwing in a child that's passed just out of nowhere just to see where it goes.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's a hit almost every time if you're speaking
to
anybody.
Yes.
It could be a man he's talking to and he says something about a baby or miscarriage or anything, and they're going to go, oh yeah, well, I mean, it could be his mom. I mean, it could be anybody, and
it could be
a lot
the neighbor,
of women, the neighbor, and a lot
somebody
of
at work.
Yeah, they don't even know they're pregnant sometimes, and and then they miscarry from a pregnancy. So he's throwing out, and I love how you just said that. I'm sick and tired of this too, and the way you said it is just, I'm sick and tired of him just throwing it in like it's a coin that you found on the floor. It's and the birds there's birds. He's sending you birds. It's like, and here's a dead baby. I'm going to send you a dead baby. Make sense of it. Really pisses me off. Gosh, yeah. This is okay. So here comes a bit. So it's a trope, you guys. He throws out recipes. He throws out all kinds of things. So every time
jewelry.
So every time we see this, we're just like, oh gosh, he's got to. I still think he's trying to get these people to cry.
I want to talk to you about that later on when we
maybe if he throws out a dead baby, then we've got he thinks he's going to get him. Well, let's see what happens.
Also connecting with you, I also see a child that passed away as well. And when I'm connecting, this was a soul that's coming through that keeps telling me that they didn't form correctly. There was issues with developing at birth. That's also that I also see in the arms of your grandmother here.
Yeah, I know who that is.
Okay, so please note that soul is also there with her. Do you know if it was a little girl? Because she keeps showing me a little girl.
I'm not sure, but I do know of the story about that. Yeah.
Okay. So please know that that soul is also there because your grandmother is validating that soul that's coming through as well, because she keeps saying to me, look at who I have here, look at who I have here. And she just showed me this little pink bowl that's coming through from the other side. You know, this is really interesting. As I'm connecting, there's also this other soul. You have a lot of souls that are here that are like interfering. I shouldn't say interfering, interrupting one another. They're talking over one another when I'm speaking to
Family.
them. Well, same thing with mine. It's like they won't stop talking for another one to come through. But I also have this soul that's also coming through to me in spirit, and it's like crazy how they had died. Like I kept hearing about them talking about. It looks like they had a stroke here in the physical world, and then it led to complications because I kept hearing hospital complications.
My mom.
Okay.
Here comes mom. So she's already said she's got a lot of dead family members.
Absolutely. She
So
did
I'm
say
surprised
that.
she's not jumping on all of them.
I am too.
Yeah, she's thinking about it, but
But-
he never says a name. Again, why does he just
Really?
not say, your cousin Elizabeth had a little baby girl and, you know, she died. She didn't form correctly and her lungs weren't developed and she died, unfortunately, recently or
Right.
something. And then here comes another person who just say it's your mom. Doesn't she
Right.
know? Doesn't, how
It's your,
can
it's
you
your
not
mom,
know?
Natalie. Your mom, Natalie, is here. She's standing with your grandmother, Betty, right? The one thing that I did notice, though, going back to the baby, is when he said baby, our lady that's been talking a lot on the right-hand side, she sat up and kind of looked a little bit shocked, like she had gotten hit by that and sat back really fast. So he did get some kind of reaction from her about that, but she doesn't really give a whole lot of details, and we're still not getting a whole lot from our other lady in the pink.
Yeah, well, she's dabbing at her eyes occasionally now.
Okay.
She looks a little stunned. I think it's interesting that the woman on the right, wearing the more coral color with the shorter hair, she is not, how do I say this? She is not jumping on him. She just keeps saying, well, both of them actually, we don't really know the full story behind that, but I kind of think I know who you're talking about. Kind of that's their attitude, like, oh, we'll have to ask my cousin, or
Right.
oh,
We'll
I
get
heard
this
the story
loop
about
to,
the baby.
yeah,
I don't know if it was a girl. We'll have to ask. And I think
right.
that's where we're going. So the mother is probably who it is they wanted to see.
You think?
Yeah, because he just said, who is it? Who is it who's coming through? What is it?
Yeah, he had to go do the thing where he had to come up with something else because he had had a miss with a partial miss with the baby being a girl because they didn't know. So he had to do his kind of
Right.
what I call stop and oh crap fix
Uh-huh.
by saying the souls are talking over each other so he could decide which direction to decide from here to go. And that's when he's going with this mystery stroke situation.
Well, it's very okay. So same thing with this one. There's another one coming through. Okay, no gender, no name.
Mm-mm.
Their soul is coming through in spirit, and like I keep hearing about them talking about it. Still no name here in the physical world, and they say my mom. So all we have is somebody who had hospital complications, and from somebody who's had hospital complications, she
Now,
said, that's my mom.
I thought he said stroke. I thought he was the one that said stroke. Hold on.
Is there a stroke?
Yeah, stroke with hospital complications.
Okay, I must have passed it. See, it's all blending together. Let's see.
Maybe my notes aren't on tap,
Well, it's
people.
also that
Sorry,
grandmother
y'all.
was validating
Okay,
that
here's the
soul
baby.
that's coming through as well, because she kept saying to me, look at who I have here, look at who I have here. And she just showed me this little pink bowl that's coming through from the other side. You know, this is really interesting. As I'm connecting, there's also this other soul. You have a lot of souls that are here that are like interfering. I shouldn't say interfering, interrupting one another. They're talking over one another when I'm speaking
Family.
to them. Well, same thing with mine. It's like they won't stop talking for another one to come through. But I also have this soul that's also coming through to me in spirit, and it's like crazy how they had died. Like I kept hearing about them talking about. It looks like they had a stroke here in the physical world, and then it led to complications because I kept hearing hospital complications.
My
they
mom.
They look stunned, not stunned, but like nothing. And you're right. They did say stroke, and they're both had the same expression, like nothing. Like
Yeah, there is not a lot of emoting here from them.
who was the person who had a stroke? They're like, just deadpan. I don't think they. I think they're just going to gear it over. And then when he said hospital complications, that's when he gets to the
My
to
mom.
to the mom. Yeah, I you've listened to this more recently than I have, so I don't know where this is going because I can't remember. But you do, so don't give it away yet. But
No.
I have a feeling that they don't know that mom had a stroke. So
Huh. Okay.
because
Okay.
they didn't really react to the stroke, they reacted to the complications, and they badly want to hear from the mom. Okay, so let's see. Let's see.
So please know that Soul's also here. Did she recently just pass?
In April.
Okay. This is what's clogging everything up. The reason why I asked you recently is that it's always difficult for me to connect with somebody who just recently passed within the past year. So if they passed 20 years ago, believe it or not, the connection is clearer than somebody who passed recently because they're still learning how to connect.
We hear that all the time, don't we, Rebecca?
We do. And I'm wondering if it's because he gets more wiggle room because people have forgotten more stuff in 20 years.
You know, that's a good idea. I think that whenever he says it's recent, and a lot of mediums say the same thing, that the first year it's really hard. I think that maybe if it's in the last year, then there's just so much emotional attachment to it that maybe they're going to ask a question like, so mom, where did you put the will? Maybe a recent question or something. I don't know, but it's
Oh.
also lots of mediums do this. It's just, again, there's people, anybody listening out there, he's not really speaking to dead people. He's making this up, and they
Right.
do this they're following the path of all the other psychics because that's what's familiar to people. So if other psychics say this, then he's going to probably go along with it. It just makes it so much easier, and he's not arguing with other readings people have had or anything. So the mom's just now learning how to connect. I wonder if the mom is going to connect. Let's see. So they don't connect until he says they are connecting. So he'll do that. He'll say, well, I might not get much. And then as it goes along, he starts to get a lot. Of course, it's all stuff that the people already said, already
Right.
told
Well,
them.
many times it's like when I connect with them, I'll hear static electricity. It's almost like they're trying to come through, but it's like almost like on a cell phone that's breaking up. So right away, all I kept hearing is about first stepping forward and saying that there was so much pain that you're going through and her family's going through over wondering if the hospital did the right thing, trying to save her or be there. Because all I keep hearing with her is that you have to let my family know that I was being taken care of, and that my body. She keeps telling me my body just couldn't handle it. Her body couldn't handle the treatments or the things that were being done to her.
That's true. Yeah.
I mean, hold on. She's trying to come through, and these souls about. Let me just ask these souls to step aside so I can talk to her. Hold on.
He's not talking to anybody.
So what
you
I'm doing
guys.
right now is I'm just asking those souls to
No,
step
you're
aside
not.
so I can have a clearer
Probably
connection to your
planning
mom.
his Christmas list. He's doing nothing. He's just sitting there
His
stalling.
Dunkin' order.
Yes, Dunkin' order. So I think that he does this from time to time. I think he's just like, "Oh, I need a moment to figure out where I'm going to go with this."
I think he does do that to buy time. I think that's definitely what this is.
Yeah, he gets a little confused and he's got to reset because he's not talking to anybody, you guys. There's nobody talking to him. He's not telling souls to move aside. He's just stalling and trying to look like, he's reaching for it. And the mom is, well, at first he said that, if it was recently, he didn't ask her. I mean, he didn't tell her. He asked, was recently, and they said
Yes.
April. And
Yes.
so he didn't say April.
No.
He didn't say recent. He said, was it recent? And then he says, oh, well, I'm having a hard time for her to come through because of static electricity, like talking on the phone or who knows what. And so he can see that they really want to hear from the mom. So he's like, oh, okay, let me concentrate really hard and ask other people to step aside. So, okay, I'm going to connect with your mom now, kind of thing, because they really want this. I don't know.
And then he's saying something about the hospital treatment. And
That was mean.
This kind of set me off a little bit as far as, again, him saying that the treatment in the hospital, they were worried that it wasn't the right thing or that it was hurting her.
Mm-hmm.
Again, he's not a medical professional. He doesn't know what happens. He's definitely not channeling anybody here. I just, I don't feel right about that.
Yeah, leaving the impression that the hospital did something wrong, or the doctor or the nurses or something.
Yes.
I think it's wrong. I think it's cruel. And it also makes them think, if I had spent more time at the hospital, maybe I could have seen what was happening, or that they didn't
Kept
respond
it from
fast
happening.
good.
Right.
The
Right.
guilt of we
Yes.
should have been able to monitor this better. Second guessing the hospital really pisses me off, and the staff there. These people are compassionate for the most part at the hospital, and they're doing what they can. And I don't like that he's doing this. It does bug me a lot to leave the impression that the hospital was at fault or something. But things are complicated. We're not even sure what she died of yet. She died of,
Exactly.
and so they don't
We
know.
don't even know if she was in the hospital getting treatments at all.
Oh, that's true. We don't.
You
He
know?
makes that assumption and just kind of looks at their expressions.
Yes.
Was she
Which
treated?
they're
the
not
last
really
time?
responding a lot here either. I would think that this is when we would start seeing something from at least the one lady on the right who's been communicating a lot.
Yeah, I would think so. Okay, here we go.
Okay.
Okay, this is crazy. I hear her. Right away when I'm
Crazy.
connecting with her, she's bringing me back through these visions, and I said to her, explain to me exactly what happened. I'm like, your daughters need answers. And she just said to me when I'm speaking to her that in the beginning, she did not know she was as sick as she was. She just said to me that she didn't even realize that she was sick or there was something going on. She talks about not feeling right, but thinking like that either she had a cold or the flu, that there was certain things that were going through her, but she didn't realize that it was serious. Does that make sense to you?
Yeah.
She was a stubborn woman with her health.
Well, I don't think that she was stubborn. I think that when I'm connecting with her and I'm hearing her, she keeps telling me that the reason why she didn't say anything or go get help is she didn't think that it was serious. Like she thought she was having like a cold or the flu. Like she wasn't feeling right, but she didn't know what was going on. She didn't know it was life threatening. That's what I have to tell you.
Well, we weren't really sure because I'm going to say within the last year, she was slowly losing her mind somewhat. So we really don't know exactly what happened.
Okay. All I can tell you is this. I don't think she knows. So all she keeps telling me is like, I didn't feel right. She thought she had like a cold or the flu. Like she wasn't feeling right, but couldn't pinpoint, didn't know what was causing her to feel this way. And it wasn't
Right.
something she thought was life threatening. But what I have to tell you is when I'm speaking to her, she was showing me the way she was coming through. She was showing me a spot on her head. So anytime I see that, that means to me that she either had a stroke or there was something with her head that happened shortly beforehand.
Yes.
So I need you to know this, that whatever that was, your mom is telling me that's what started her decline. That's what started her mentally declining, her physically declining, all of these things. And she said to me that she's so sorry that there was so much responsibility that was put on you.
Okay, here we go with the platitudes where she's going to try to feel good. Yes, this woman is definitely filming. You can see her hand on the thing. So hopefully they listen to this and realize this is
Right.
really a bunch of nonsense and
Right.
be specific. So they don't know she had a stroke.
I'm thinking they don't know that she had a stroke.
She might not have had a stroke.
She might have, she might not have. I think that's
Yeah.
our mystery here with that. But the part where he kept pushing them about that, she didn't really think she was sick. She felt like it was cold or flu. She didn't think it was as bad as it was. And they said, yeah, she was really stubborn with her health. And then he's like, no, it's not because she was stubborn. I don't know why he's telling them no.
Oh, you're saying he should have just agreed and it'd been easier.
Yeah, he did that again. It was the same thing kind of with the leg, that we saw earlier. Or the
Right.
dead baby.
Just take the easy thing.
Easy tell. Right. And I'm not quite sure why that keeps happening in this one in particular.
Yeah. I don't have an answer. Maybe he just wants to feel challenged, or maybe he knows that if he pushes back and he pushes people, that he gets a better reaction from the people watching. I don't know. Remember, there's people watching this, and he's playing to that audience too. Yeah.
Right.
And if he just goes along with everything they say, and this woman, again, they don't know, they don't have the answer. So Matt is just keeping it vague. She's like, well, we don't really know what was going on with her. We don't really know what actually happened. We don't really know. And he's like, Yeah, and that's what she's saying. She doesn't really know either. That makes
Yeah.
me stop thinking
She
about
said,
it.
we're not really sure, but the last year she was slowly losing her mind. We're not really sure what happened. And that's when he brings in, she's showing me a spot on the head.
Which is a symbol to him that
The
she's having
symbol.
she's having
Yes.
there's a spot on the head, which means is a symbol that she's had a stroke, and that brought on all the other stuff. In other words, it's so generic that it doesn't really mean anything, because he's not saying when she had the stroke. He's
No.
saying there was
No.
a spot at some point, and that's the beginning of her decline. I don't know, if she had a stroke and she was doing badly, wouldn't they have taken her to the doctor, and they would have known she has a stroke? I think you could tell. Yeah, too. There's tests. I think it's easy to tell.
Yeah, there are tests that you can tell. I apologize. My dog Sky is weighing in.
That's okay. That's okay. We've got 2 minutes, 38 seconds. So that's okay. I don't care. Leave the puppy in. He's much more entertaining than
Because literally, I see you trying to help your mom and not knowing exactly how, because you weren't getting answers out of her. So I need you to know that, first of all, she wants to thank you for being there for her. And she also said to me in spirit that one of the hardest things for her was that when she was here, she says, every day felt different to her. She says to me that she had no concept of time. She keeps telling me she would get her days mixed up. And that's where it would get very confusing. And she just wants to thank you for being there for her, for supporting her. She says, for making all the choices and decisions that you did. She's bringing that through. She also tells me it's okay for you to go back through her things, because she showed me like boxes that like you still haven't gone through, or it's been too hard to unpack or to go through. And she says to me, tell my daughter, I want her to know it's okay, it's okay, it's okay. And she's bringing that through, and I'm speaking to her.
Yeah, I have a few of her things, but I can't look at them. I don't know why.
Well, because it's so fresh. I gotta tell you that what's so beautiful with your mom is that she's already been trying to reach you, right? And the first thing that I gotta tell you is that she wants to let you know that all her memories had come back on the other side. And she's been in the room to see the conversations that you had even when she was not there. So what the conversations that we're having with family members, with doctors, with everybody was there. She's bringing that up. But she's also talking about the grief that you're going through outside of her passing. And what I mean by that is that when I'm connecting with your mom, she was the type of person that took care of everybody here in this world. Like she shows me like her having like this address book with like everyone's address and birthdays and like knowing when like certain events were going on in people's lives. And your mom is telling me that you're so upset because when she had passed away, you feel as though that all these people that she was there for didn't step up in the way that they should have. So your mom is telling me, please tell my daughter that all I needed was her. And she's bringing that through when I'm connecting, letting you know in spirit that she is okay and that you did not disappoint her. And that on the other side of life, she goes, I don't want you to hold on to the hurt or the pain of other people being there or not being there or whatever it is that was happening. She goes, I want to let you know that I know what you did for me. And I am okay and I am safe in that peace.
Thank you.
All right, I'm going to leave you with that. Thank you guys for being here. And by the way, I'm coming to Cranston, by the way. I'm doing a hometown show right after paternity leave in March. So I think so if you guys come to the show, you write in, you tell my team, and I'll put you guys in the meet and greet so I can give you a hug in person.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Oh, you're so welcome.
Thank you, Matt. I appreciate you.
All right. So he started out with he did say daughters at one point there. I let it run. And then he went to all I need is my daughter. I want to tell my daughter. I went to singular daughter. So I thought that was odd.
Right. That was odd that we got the plural and then it went down to one. She was the only one that you were the only one that, she needed.
I guess there was no sons. I mean,
and there was no real hit with the address book or with the thought of the other people needing to be there.
Right. We all have address books, I think. At least I know
there
my
was
family did.
There was some teariness, then talking about the mom, but it wasn't really overly reactive either. We didn't get a whole lot of head nodding or connection there.
Yes, absolutely. It was just very generic. And I mean, yeah, some tearing up here and there, but I don't know. It just felt so bland. And he covered several dead people.
Several. It really felt like a lot of a fishing expedition, right?
And he said something about the mother is okay, where was it? I'm trying to remember. I mean, you guys, it's been like a minute and I've already forgotten the exact words. It is really hard to keep up with this stuff. He said something about the mother is her way of showing that she cares about you or something like that. And I'm thinking, it would have been really good if mom had come through and actually said some names
Sure.
or something specific other than, I had an address book.
Right. Right. And they didn't even jump on that at all. That they weren't like, yes, that was mom. She was the glue that held the family together. She kept track of everybody. We didn't get any kind of response like that.
Oh, and still having her boxes to go through. That's very
Yeah.
common.
So the clothes and they got upset about having to go through the clothes.
Yeah.
Right.
And it's only April. So this was recorded in December. So it's only been 8 months. 9, 10,
Right.
yeah, 8 months.
Right. So the probability on that was pretty high.
Yeah,
right?
extremely high. I mean, even it could go years before they finally get through everything. Everything. And so she goes, she says, yeah, I'm having a hard time going through the clothes or going through the boxes. It's like he said something true. He said, yeah, because it's so fresh.
Yes.
Yeah, that's just normal. That's human behavior for somebody. And unless he had no boxes, like let's say it wasn't in her household,
right.
somebody distant. I don't know. What do you think about this as a whole?
I didn't think it was a very memorable reading and that we haven't heard anything new. Of course, he didn't really leave them with any specific information other than these 4 souls that he channeled today supposedly were at peace on the other side.
Yeah.
We're hearing about a couple things that they don't necessarily know about with the stroke, with the dead baby, baby that passed. That was a girl. They don't know anything about that. They'd have to confirm about Dan a few things. If that had been my reading, I would have been really disappointed.
This is recording, so I'm really curious if they show the reading to other people. And
right.
Oh no, it wasn't a baby boy. It wasn't a baby girl. It was a boy. And Dan didn't have his leg, didn't jump for the other leg. And no, he was probably saying, take my leg. If
right. I got to be here. I got to be here.
I got to be here for other reasons. Take my leg. I don't care. Take both if it means I can live longer. I wonder how they're going to, I wonder if that happens.
Right.
Or no.
Right.
Unless they see this video and comment, which I doubt.
I doubt too, but that would be really interesting to hear from them about this. But yeah, I was kind of curious about, we talked about, making them cry. Is that, you think, an indicator to him that he feels like he's given a good show or a good reading? He's going to get a good response from them?
Yeah, I think so. That's my personal opinion, just watching these a lot of times, that he'll push people. They look like they're close to getting to a point where they're going to cry. And then he'll like nudge them a little bit more, he's poking them. He's got a stick and he's just poking them a little bit more. Come on. I can get those tears out of you. I just know I can get those tears out of you. I get that feeling that he's doing that for visual.
Yeah. And that makes me so sick to my stomach.
Well, I don't know if it's true, but that's how I feel. Just watching hundreds of these readings, that it feels that.
It was very upsetting when we first started doing these. There was one lady in particular that was in her home alone for the Christmas holiday. And she was already crying, really sobbing when he went over to her and started the reading.
You know what? I don't remember which one that is. I thought it was somebody else you were going to mention, but there's been so many.
The grief was so palpable, and it was really hard to watch that one. I said, oh, this poor lady,
yeah. Well, I feel like that on almost all of these. I feel like
I just feel
memories been
so disrespectful telling these people, no, it's not because she was stubborn. Hello, if you're speaking with her spirit, you're going to know that the woman is stubborn. Okay. I'm extremely stubborn, and everybody, that's the first thing they say about me. Okay. You're like, he's going to know she's stubborn. Why is he denying that? Why is he telling them no, it's both legs when they're saying he got a leg amputated?
I don't understand why he says that he's giving specific information that, nobody else could know, but yet he won't say a name. I mean, he says names all the time, but they're not
a date or place of death.
Yeah, he'll say a name once in a while. He'll get it hit, but he'll throw out a name and he'll say, oh, well, how about, what does this mean? And they'll say, oh, that's so and so. I mean,
Right.
I think I've heard it once or twice where he'll throw out a common name and it does hit. There's
Like
one that
Tony or
Tony,
Nick, right?
Adrian and I just recorded one yesterday or the day before, and yeah, the day before, and he throws out the name Bert, Bert, and the
Really?
lady freaks out because the cat's name is Bert. He goes, yeah, well, your mom's here and she knows that cat, or your dad's here and he knows that cat. And then she's like,
Wow.
oh, oh, and he's like, yeah, your dad likes that cat the best. It was just Bert. It could be
Right.
Albert, anything that has the name Bert in there somewhere.
Yes.
Humperdinck. Anyway, so because he said Bert and it made a connection of a cat. That's in
It would
a
have been so
reading.
funny if they had said that's my plant, Bert. I name my plants. So
I used to name my son used to always name all the spiders and stuff Eric. They were all Eric.
that's hilarious.
My mom named all the chickens Naomi. And the car. The cars and the chickens were always
Yes,
named.
my car is always named. Yes.
People are strange. We're strange people, I tell you. Yeah. So look at the one for Matt Fraser Readings Reviewed, Adrian, Susan, and Bert the cat. That's going to be the video right underneath this one right now that we're filming right now.
Got it. Okay. Okay.
She does the cat thing, and I mean, I swear, I just wanted to bang my head on the table with that one. It was so obviously awful. I've got another one coming up in the can. Maybe I'll send it to you. And that is, well, I've got a bunch that are sitting here waiting to go, but I've got one that's also another naming one. I think I'm going to send it to you to do. I don't.
That would be so awesome.
Yeah, it's not. Yeah, I don't want to say, because if I say, then it plants it in your mind and you start.
Right. No, I
love
love the randomness of the Wheel of Fortune here. The Wheel of Fate.
The Wheel
we
of
should
Fate.
call it.
Yeah, because we don't really know. I mean, and like I said, they're all blending together in my mind. But once in a while, the specific, it gets specific. How's that Dunkin'?
Yeah.
How's that Dunkin' drink there?
The Starbucks. Yeah.
He's making enough money. He should be able to afford Starbucks. I don't. Maybe the Dunkin'
People up north prefer their Dunkin'. It's interesting. It's
we don't have them here.
Company.
Really? We do not have them here. The only time I see a Dunkin' is when I'm flying and they're in the airports. I've never seen a Dunkin' in live.
Dunkin' is a big Northeast thing.
We have Winchell's, but nobody goes to Winchell's for coffee. They go there for donuts, but they do have. I don't know. Maybe he's got one just really close by, and he walks down. This is Dunkin'.
Right. I have both close by, but I just I have my card and I do the pre-order and then I just go. But I had to make sure I went today. It was my nice excuse. I said, "Oh, I'm talking to Susan. I got to tell her about my coffee." Make her laugh.
That's hilarious. You're like, oh, I must get my coffee today.
Sorry, I'm talking to Susan today, y'all. I
gotta. I just have to. Oh, you're just too funny.
And I have to tell people, I promise I washed this between taping, Susan. But everybody go check out your Grief Vampires swag shop.
Isn't that hilarious? I had cancer when I did that. That was back in 2013. Really? Yeah, I had cancer. I had no hair. And my boyfriend, it's fine. I mean, I'm
God bless that you're here. You made it the other side.
Well, of course, I had to do this. But the thing about the Grief Vampire was that Nosferatu picture. I didn't know who Nosferatu was, but somebody online said, hey, if you'll dress it, because my boyfriend, Mark Edward, was dressing me up when we were doing Halloween stuff, because I was Cleopatra. I was all kinds of people who had no hair. And we had a lot of fun with it. Lots of makeup, lots of fun stuff. Dr. Evil.
Oh, yeah, with the cat.
There's tons of pictures out there with me. And I was holding a cat, I've got lots of photos. I'll have to show those again someday. But the thing is what I did is somebody said, I'll make $100 donation to my local cancer society here in Arkansas if you dress up as Nosferatu and take a picture. I'm like, sure. I don't know who this Nosferatu person is. So my boyfriend we went and dressed me all up and put that makeup on, and we went down to a few blocks from here, and he photographed me, and then I just played around with it. So that's and the guy went and he donated $250, and he went in and he says there was these two little ladies behind the counter, at the cancer clinic in Arkansas, and he says, "I'm here to donate this because my friend took a picture of herself dressed as Nosferatu." Like, what? I don't know if he showed it to him on his phone and said, "Look," or not, but
Yeah.
they were like, "Okay, we've just been here all day," you know.
Well, it's more comfortable than the ice bucket challenge, especially when you're going through treatment, right?
Yeah,
So
yeah. I didn't do the ice bucket, but I did a lot of photographs. Oh my gosh, there's so many photographs of me wearing the most ridiculous things, but that's just me. I'm that type of person, very public. Okay, Rebecca. So I'll send you over a random one. I'll try to find that
okay.
one that I really, really think that'll be. They're all good. They're all have their own things, and you've got a lot of insight
Yep.
into it. So it's fun to see what your insight is. So it's
No,
different. Fun.
I appreciate all the learning opportunity here.
And everybody get
Can't
over.
wait to do a hot one.
Oh, geez, yeah. Okay, well, check out the one with the reporter just for kicks.
Yeah.
But it's Matt Fraser and the reporter. Matt Fraser makes reporter cry, I think is what it is.
Okay.
But you guys check out the one with the British. Rebecca and Susan discuss, what is it? Reading from Britain. That's what it's just like a couple down on the playlist from the one we're doing right now. And we gotta, come on, we gotta see are we on Team Rebecca or Team Susan? Because and we really want people from Britain to weigh in because the
Yes.
mother is speaking within her natural accent, and we see completely different things, and I think it's super interesting.
It is. It is.
So so vote on that, you guys. I should put a little poll.
That would be a good idea.
I don't know how
I
to
think
do
that's
that.
fun.
It's fun, but I don't know how. I'll just look at the comments. Rebecca,
Yeah.
you take care, and thank you so
You
much
too.
as usual. It's been great having you here. So
Oh, it's a blast. Thanks,
I'll see you
Susan.
soon.